Welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute, but today I've got the recently released SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Geats Magnum boost form. And let's just get straight into it. Honestly, I've been waiting for this guy maybe for 3 months. I pre-ordered him on Tokullectibles. Took a little while, but having him in hand, he feels amazing. Just like looking at the sculpt work of the head, it's just amazing. The scarf right here, I wish it was posable, but it's made of a soft plastic. Just be careful right here because it's thin. The Magnum part of the form is, I don't know how well it shows on camera, but it's a almost pearlescent white, which is honestly pretty cool. It honestly looks really nice. And then looking at the boost portion of the body, we have the little, what are these, exhausts, and this nice rainbow this nice rainbow finish on it. And yeah, overall it just looks great. Even like in the buckle, you can see in the ID core the Geats emblem. And just getting into accessories, we have obviously the buckles that each can come off and are easy to put on. Just get this little peg on this little square peg and slots into the hole nicely. You even have the revolve on portion of the belt as well. You can take one of the buckles, let's just use boost for this, and you can take the Magnum Shooter 40X in its pistol mode, I believe. Just taking a look at that real quick. Sculpt work and painting is honestly phenomenal on this thing. You can take the buckle and place it into the slot right here for finishers, just like in the toy and the show. There's even a peg on this side for when you want to have it on the belt holster. If I can get it in, it's a bit tight, but there we go. Likewise, there's another for on the other side if you want to have a buckle there too. There's another slot. It's just they're really tight connections. For the hands, you have the fists on here. They aren't the default hands. The default hands are these relaxed post hands. We next have splayed out, kind of clenched action hands. And we have a left and a right trigger finger hand. Now what's cool about these is that I found out that the hands can hold on to the buckles nicely. So if you want to pose him about to go into a boost to use the finishers, you can use these hands to hold it in place, or even to hold it for when you want to get into transformations. So for on figure accessories, we also have these wrist cannons for the Magnum. They can splay out right here on both arms, which is honestly really cool. Personally, I didn't think they would do this because often I forget about it, but even in the show, I sometimes forget about it, but they look really nice. Now on to posability. We have honestly phenomenal posability. Oops, that fell off. We also honestly have amazing posability. So you have linking up to that, about that high, down really far. You have really good tiltage for a lot of expressive poses. Turn his head side to side really nicely. For the arms, we have the attached to shoulder hinge with the ball for the shoulder pad. You can extend the arm out to get a little bit more range on the upward movement. So you get 90 degrees. It's a ball joint right here, and you get the full 360. For the bicep swivel, I don't want to push it to 360, but you probably can get 360. But there's a little clamp what is this? Plastic piece right here that almost acts like as if it's holding the shoulder pad. So it kind of covers up the swivel a bit. You also have a double jointed elbow. You have the SHF ball hinge assembly. For the waist, you have all the way back here and all the way to the front there. They then have side to side and waist rotation, which is unhindered by the belt. We have the classic drop down method for the leg, which bring it all the way up to here and bring it back to there and get you about maybe 80 degrees for the leg. We have thigh swivel and double knee. These exhaust portions are also on a swivel, so you can push them over here for when you have finishers or just want to get ready for a kick. And then for the ankle, we have about that much for pivot. It's not the greatest, but it's also not that bad. You have front to back. I wish the back motion was a lot more, but you also have a toe hinge too. Yeah, overall, I really love the posability on this guy. Like even getting him into a quick pose. Just getting him into a quick like action pose for like when he's about to fight off the Jamato. It just looks great. And yeah, we'll jump into the gimmick of this figure. Alongside this was released the, oops, you know what, let's just take these off because they're gonna fly around everywhere. But there was also the entry form of this guy released. And what you can do is at the waist, just pull up and off comes the torso, held on by this kind of clip right there. So you can put aside the legs. You get the belt off, which is cool. And on the head, you can gently remove the face mask and the, I don't know what it's called, like, we're calling the eyepieces, the eye lenses, as well as this, the mouth plate. And on the back, you can take off this. If I can get into this, yep, there we go. And boom. So when you want to do like form changes with Tycoon and Buffa that are coming out later this year, you can, and you can move around Geats over there too. So I just recommend being careful with this because these are sharp and very thin pieces. Honestly, you do not want to break this guy. I don't know how easy it was to fix it, but just be careful. And I'll get this guy back together and move on for size comparisons. So to start off with size comparisons, we'll bring in the other Reiwa primary writers. So we have 01, Saber. Just move these back a little bit just so we have enough room for all of them. Vice and Revi. So everybody just looks great together. Even though 01 has the smaller body mold, he fits in well. He doesn't stand out as shorter than the rest. He honestly only looks shorter than Revi. In all honesty, everybody just looks good together. So getting these guys out of the way to bring some others in, we have Kamen Rider O's Tajador Eternity, Shinkocho Seiho, with the SHF upgrade Eternity Feathers. And one of the previous review, we have Kamen Rider Evil. And then there's also Kamen Rider Buster from Saber. And then just for kind of more of an obscure non-rider size comparison, let me go grab the real grade G Gundam, or God Gundam, from Gundam Fighters G, I think it is. Correct me on that if I'm wrong in the comment section. And yeah, and that's it for size comparisons, and get it moving to final thoughts. Final thoughts of the figure? I really love this thing, and I'm excited for the rest of the line. I'm on the hunt for the entry form, and I can't wait for Buffa and Tycoon to come out later this year in the summer. I'm just excited to collect this line, dude. It's fun. He's posable. Accessories, while limited, are sufficient to get any pose that you want and any kind of display with this guy on your shelf, and I highly recommend it. And thank you for coming back to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time.